boots, and these boots were made with quality materials. The only way that we can have that kind of scenario in place is if our standard organization of Nigeria, because we have agencies that are meant to regulate some of these products and what comes out of it, so we can make our own a envy of the global community. If we have that sincerity of purpose and intention, let us see how we, put some of these things in place, ensure that power, for instance, is made available for producers, for people who are into manufacturing. Okay, if you want to go into manufacturing, for instance, you must first of all consider a diesel powered plant. You maintain it. Then talking about even some of the materials that you use for manufacturing some of these things. Not that we can't have it here, we can't source it in Nigeria here, but we go as far as importing some of these things. So how well do you think this meager amount they are giving to them will be able to sustain them in the business to become established producers of footwear? So for me, conclusively, I think it's not enough for government or government agencies or ministries, parastatals of government to say, oh, we are giving us so and so for artisans. People want to make footwears. People want to produce plastic. People who are into textiles. Okay, look at textiles. There was a time Nigeria was a big producer and exporter of textile materials. But what we have today is a complete far cry. So the government should be serious about it. Ensure that those necessary things, those factors that are needed to be put in place to make ease of business paramount. If they don't do that, whatever they are doing today is like, moving around in circles. Because I know personally that these things are just for the optics and also to mesmerize members of the public. If there is sincerity of purpose and intention, the first thing you need to do is ensure that we have power, and you ensure that some of these materials needed for this industry to strive are put in place. It's a shame, what they call is a chain of business. You understand me? It's a chain of business where this one rely on this one rely on this one. Before you know, that circle grows. Just like what we have in the oil industry. Crude has different byproducts. If we are refining our oil in Nigeria, we have a lot of other activities that will still come out from that refining activity. That is what this particular sector is. So let us add seriousness in some of these things we do so that people will begin to take them seriously.
Thank you so much in this, Mufata. Moving forward, former governor of Ekiti State, right, Honorable Tunji Odeyemi, has urged Nigerians to resist attempts to turn Nigeria into a one-party state. The chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, accused the ruling All Progressives Congress of doing everything possible to weaken the opposition. Speaking with journalists on the occasion of his 66th birth anniversary, Odeyemi warned of the dire consequences and imminent threats, saying that such an anti-democratic agenda may collapse democracy. According to him, a one-party state possesses a serious threat to the advancement of democracy and the socio-political development of any nation. I think there is a deliberate agenda by the All Progressives Congress, APC-led government, headed by President Bola Tinubu, to turn Nigeria into a one-party state. To me, this is a dangerous trend, and it will not all go well for our failed democracy. No nation can prosper without a vibrant opposition, he said. Do you agree with Odeyemi that this country, Nigeria, is actually practicing a one-party, Nigeria is turning into a one-party state, as he has stated?
Well, something must have led to him holding that position.
Well, there have been certain allegations and criticism.
As I said, a man does not just wake up and begin to make statements that he's not sure of, unless, of course, that man has lost his sanity.
Considering the fact that there's been this alleged situation that the APC and the PDP have meetings together, and then the APC is funding the PDP party, that kind of statement.
I think the former governor of Ekiti State has actually made a very valid observation. And some of us have equally, see the way things are going, and is a pointer to, what he has just stated. A situation where the ruling party has demonstrated strongly is disaffection towards opposition. I have said that this particular administration has zero tolerance to opposition and opposition figures. That's on the one side. On the flip side of things, we've seen where opposition party members are cowed, are molested, are intimidated. Some of them to the extent that they have seen that if they continue to remain in the opposition, their voices will not be heard. That is why you see this barrage of people defecting to the ruling party. And as if that is not enough, some of the elections that have been conducted in this administration, you have seen that
can I cut you short? So what could be the reason for this defection?
That's what I'm saying, that when you are, politicians most times are only interested in that platform that will give them the opportunity to shine. And if some of these, self-serving, politicians hold such an opinion, they see that the only way that I can have some level of recognition and opportunity is to go to this party that has categorically demonstrated that they don't want this other one to exist. Look at even what is going on currently in the biggest opposition party, which is the PDP, where you see some, elements within the PDP hobnobbing with the APC government in power. And they're not just doing that, from some certain display and manifestations, you could see that there is a grand ploy to destroy the PDP. I'm not going to categorically mention any names here, but I'm sure Nigerians are very much aware of what is currently going on in the PDP. Coupled with what I was trying to say earlier on, how the APC has boasted openly that they are going to take over all the PDP states. And when people come out of interference, these are the issues. So I think it's now an opportunity for the government in power and the party in power to see how they can retrace their steps. We cannot afford to and authoritarianism. So for me, that of course is a wake-up call. Let us not destroy this democracy that we fight so hard to achieve.
Okay, you've talked about democracy
in 1999.
You've talked about democracy oftentimes, and since June 12th, in the June 12th election 1993 that happened up till now, would you say that this country has practiced democracy in any one way or the other?
No, we have had what I would term a quasi-democratic system. Why I call it quasi? Because we have not fully attained that full democratic tenets. If we truly practice democracy in this country, coming from 1999, where this democratic era was bettered till date, we are not making progress in advancing the ethos of what and how democracy should be practiced. Democracy allows for free speech. Of course, every freedom has its own limitation.
Yes.
But it's only in this country that when you come out to criticize government policies, you will be seen as an enemy of the state. You'll be arrested, charged, and tried for treason. All these are recipes of how a dictatorial and totalitarian government is run. These are what we are trying to prevent. So for me, let us not kill what we fought so hard. Nobody wants to go back to the days of dictatorship. Talking about those military era. It mustn't be when somebody wearing a khaki takes over government that you say it's a dictatorial government. If we have a civilian in government that acts and operates like a military dictator, that alone is everything falls short of a democratic system of government. That is why I think the former governor of Ekiti State is saying that let us not begin to act like this. We should try and as much as possible to accommodate opposition, elements. Otherwise, we will not be able to, practice true democracy.
Yes.
It is not enough to say, we're going to the polls, we elect our leaders. We should also give room for people to criticize, for people to ventilate, for opposition party to equally grow and have the opportunity, to be part of government in the way and manner that an opposition party is meant to be part of government.
Thank you.
If you want to kill opposition because you've had the opportunity to occupy that apex, level of governance, talking about the executive arm at the presidential level, because you have had the opportunity, you want to kill opposition, then we will not be making progress. Nigeria is a democratic state. Nigeria is a federal system of government. Let us not begin to operate like we are, doing something that is a complete far cry from what democracy should be like. That is what the gentleman is talking about. And for me, what he has said is spot on. The government in power should listen to those kind of voices and do something about it.
Thank you so much, Indes Mufasa. Thank you so much. Some retail outlets belonging to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited have adjusted the petrol pump price to 860 naira per litre. ATN observed that while there is no official communication from the NNPCL retail yet, some stations in Lagos adjusted their pumps to 860 naira, down from 945 naira of Sunday. This comes a few days after the Dangote refinery reduced its ex-depot petrol price from 890 naira to 825 naira per litre. NNPC spokesperson Olufemi Isonoye did not respond to calls and messages regarding the development. However, the National Vice President of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Ahmad Fashola, confirmed the development. Also, the National President of the Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Billy Gills Harry, said they reduced the pump price earlier this morning, but I'm yet to get the details, he stated. This information arose amid Dangote's fuel reduction from February to date. Dangote refinery has reduced its petrol price twice. The latest price drops from 650,000 barrels per day refinery to February 26, 2025, when it announced an ex-depot petrol price reduction to 825 naira from 890 naira. Additionally, in December 2024, during the festive season, the refinery dropped the price of PMS by 70.50 naira from 970 naira to 899.50 naira per litre to help ease the cost of living, he stated. Well, I don't want to say it's a commendable one, because stands, you know, I will not still say this is what it's supposed to be done at a country, as an oil firm, because petrol first. You talked about electricity, you know, before you achieve something. Well, when we had the footwear manufacturing situation of the women empowerment, you need electricity to function. Even the telecals that decided to increase price, their tariff hike to 50%, had one reason, that they needed more funds to get diesel because electricity is no longer as constant as it's supposed to be, and certain reasons of inflation that they mentioned. You know, petrol is one thing that affects food cost, you know, distance wise, when this transporters have to, you know, bring in their goods from interstate kind of situation, and then transportation price and all of that. It just cuts across every angle. You know, I will not really say I commend an MPC of dropping their price. Even if they have dropped to 860 naira. I would love to get your thoughts on this. What you think about this?
Well, I think you know, the price should keep coming down. My worry is that NNPC had to wait for Dangote to take the lead. You know, it's quite disturbing. You know, especially considering the fact that they told us that they started refining, you know, whereas we still hear that marketers still import petroleum products. Okay, so it's you know, if you want to look at it from a certain angle, some persons will say it's a sharing news, that it's gradually coming down, but like you rightly said, it's still not exciting enough, because it's supposed to even come, you know, lower than this. You know, the crude, we have it in abundance in this country. We are refining the products in this country. We are no longer paying landing costs. So why do we still have to buy at this high rate? So these are some of the issues that the Nigerian state should look into. And also, we shouldn't wait for Dangote to make the first move. You know, I think there is something that they are not telling us that is going on in the petroleum sector. Also, PMS is not the only products, the only byproducts of crude. You know, as the price of PMS is coming down, I'm also expecting the price of diesel, the price of kerosene, and the price of LPG, which is the cooking gas, to also follow suit. You know, these are products that are equally daily products that the Nigerian people consume, especially cooking gas and kerosene. You know, so they should also look at those products. I'm thinking that if we're actually refining crude in this country, you know, these byproducts are even meant to even go cheaper, because they are byproducts of PMS. So the NNPC should go a step further by also telling Nigerians what is the current cost at the retail outlets, the current cost of kerosene per liter, the current cost of cooking gas per kg, the current cost of diesel per liter, if that has also, if those have also been affected. These are words we get Nigerians more excited. Also, we do not want to equally hear that by next week the price has gone up again. You know, it has to be going down. That's the reality. There is nothing that anybody wants to explain to me. The reality should be that the price keeps going down, because, like I've said before, we are refining the products in this country. We are no longer paying landing costs. If you are refining, there's no point of paying landing costs, because you are not importing anything. So they should be open. They should be sincere to Nigerians. And the Nigerian state should also consider building more refineries and equally providing opportunities for more investors to come into that sector. we need more competitors. It shouldn't be NNPCL and Dangote alone. You know, more investors should be given the enabling environments to also come up and invest in that sector, build more refineries, so that it will also reflect, you know, in the cost and standard of living of Nigerians. Sure. Everything is anchored around the cost of petrol and petroleum products in this country. Let us not deceive ourselves. Why we are buying some of the things we are buying today at a very high rate is because of the cost of petrol and petroleum products. The telecoms people, they told us that one of the major reasons why they are increasing tariff is because of the cost of running their plants and all of that. Because the cost of diesel and all of that, when you want to add up, of a truth I tell you, to be completely honest and fair with some of these business people, is not funny. So the government can see, you know, to it that they come up with policies, they come up with moves and strategy that the service providers will be left with no other option than to bring down, you know, some of these things that have gone up. It can still be brought down if some key factors affecting the cost of running businesses are brought down, like the cost of petrol, diesel, gas, and kerosene. So even though it's not something worth rolling out the big drums, like rightly said, you know, it's not a very shareful something, but then again, it's still a welcome development that the price is coming down, but it should also go down further so that, you know, it can be affordable and accessible to a vast majority of Nigerians.
Thank you on this, Mufasa. You made the right statement. The price is it's a welcome development, but the refineries also need to be fixed. You know,
and also new ones also need to be built.
In order to reduce the monopoly, because if you look at the whole issue, the Dangote refinery is a private enterprise, and then the NNPCL also, the competition is not as strong as expected.
And NNPCL should not wait until Dangote. That was what happened that December period. Because Dangote that made the first move. So Dangote shouldn't be allowed to control the market. As I said, it's a lot of things they are not telling us, like the workability of our refineries, that you have to wait for Dangote to make the first move. That means kerosene and diesel.
Thank you on this, Mufasa. Thank you so much on your analysis. Well, this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Blowout. Thank you, viewers, for joining us. Do not forget, we will also do this tomorrow. We are still open for adverts, placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our 18 socials on Facebook and YouTube, on Atlantic Television Network, on Instagram and TikTok, on Atlantic TV Network, on Twitter, on Atlantic TV Net. You can watch us live on our website at www.atlantic.net.work.tv. Remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Open conversation comes shortly. Do not go away. I am Chidima Wandike. Have a beautiful day.
The board, management and staff of Morrison Media Group presents the 2025 anniversary lecture of Atlantic Television Network and Wish 99.5 FM. Theme: Imperative of Private Media in Sustainable Development.
Keynote speaker, Professor Tony Iradia, erudite scholar and broadcast guru. Chairman, Professor Umar Kart, President, Society of Broadcasters, Nigeria, and Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Kashiri, Gombe State. Panelists: Chief Honorable Arthur C. Kalabo, Information and Communication Expert; Dr. Hakat White, Lecturer, Public Relations, Media and Communication; Dr. Bekwele Lawrence D.K., Lecturer, Marketing Communication and Public Relations; Opaka Dakuba, Chairman, South-South, Nigerian Union of Journalists; Susan Serakara Mbikana, Chairperson, Nawach, River State. Chief Host, Dr. Chinyere Igwe, Esquire, FSM, FIMC, FNIMN, MNIM, ARPA, MIPPA. Chairman, Morrison Group. Date: 10th of March 2025. Venue: Dimeji Banquet Hall, Gate Place Hotel, Kilometer 5 East West Road by Obirikwere Flyover, Rumosi, Port Harcourt. Time is 11 a.m.
Call Kehinde Paul Obofadi on 0802 301 5728. That is 0802 301 5728 or info@atlanticnetwork.tv or info@wishfm995ph.com. You can also call Laurentia Ogu on 0818 344 6746. That is 0818 344 6746 or lead content at atlanticnetwork.tv. This is signed by management.